Stream is on. So we'll just chit for the minute.
Beautiful.
Just out and check the sounds, which is a bit fucking breezy, you know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you're saying, Mike. I'll And it's another good evening. Well, it's actually afternoon now. It's Bank Holiday Sunday afternoon. We had enough or better to do, so we thought we would bring you a, a watch along. This was literally planned about an hour before we went live. And today we come from the National League just for a bit of a change, where the Oxford Chargers take on the Leicester Lions and Cubs, the top two teams in the National League. And the Lion Cubs needing one league point to take the league championship, because there's no playoffs in the National League this year. And it's just the OGs tonight, just myself. How are we doing this afternoon, sir?
Yeah, we're all good. Should be fun. Like you said, we had absolutely sod all to do. And the better news is there's no Alan.
See, we treat our supporters on a Sunday afternoon with no Alan because he's gone shopping and then he's playing Dungeons and Dragons with his pretend friends.
Alan likes dungeons, pass it on.
Alan likes dungeons. So, what do we want to go with first, Bush? Are we going with the table first or the lineups first?
We'll go with the table first, I think. We'll go with the table. Table should be coming on the screen any second now. I need to find this bloody program.
Up on my mobile device as well. And just like that, look, it's up. So as we could see from 8 of the 10 meetings, the Lion Cubs are on 19 points. 20 points in this league. Virtually gives you the title. Oxford Chargers need to win tonight and last remaining fixture to have any chance of closing that gap. But it's virtually the Lion Cubs. Scunthorpe and Sheffield sitting there in third place on 6 points, come very, very close to being the only team to beat the Lion Cubs this season. They are unbeaten in all their meetings. Bellevue Colts surprisingly in fourth, but them looking towards the future with having William Cairns. Middlesbrough Tigers sat there in fifth. They've got one meeting left, and they really are about development, and Edinburgh Academy are just a little bit crap at the bottom. That's the only way to put it.
Don't pull any punches, Squire.
Well, I'm sure they'd rather hear the truth than everything be sugar-coated.
Yeah, that's true. Team lineups. You can do them. I'll let you.
Oh, what a boy. So for the home side, the Oxford Chargers, their team manager is Peter Schrock.
Busy
At
boy.
number 7 is very busy. At number 7, their brand new signing, Declan Killeen. At number 6, son of Aaron, that's Senna Summers. At number 5 is Geordie Scott, who's been getting some championship guest bookings recently. At number 4, Ashton Vale. At number 3, the guest for Jason Garrard is Connor Coles. At number 2, Jacob Cloughton. And their number 1 is Luke Killeen. Any riders to watch there, sir?
Connor Coles, he absolutely flew for the Cheetahs the other night in their win over the Ouija's, and that'll do him good for this one as well.
Like to expect so. What did he score on Friday? Oh, he got 5 on Friday. I thought he was field of reserve. I do apologise. And yeah, to be fair, I'm just gonna go for Senna Summers just to be different. So for the visiting team this afternoon, the Leicester Lion Cubs, they're managed by a guy called Dave Howard.
Never heard of him.
At number 7 is Aaron Butcher. At number 6 is Max James. Riding at 5 is Luke Krang. Rider replacement goes at number 4. At number 3 is Tom Spencer. At number 2, Sonny Springer. And their number 1, Joe Thompson. Who's your man to watch?
It's got to be Joe Thompson. It's the boring answer, but he's too good for this league, in all honesty, and averaging 10.5 points, I think, proves that. But yeah, I think he should be close to at least going through the card.
And I've gone for another boring answer. It's not quite Joe, but I've gone for Tom Spencer just because he's starting to pick up some form now and getting some championship guest bookings. Unfortunately with Glasgow, but someone's got to ride for him. We got your pal Mr. Hutt in the background there, sir.
I am watching the stream now. I've probably missed him.
In the shades, just behind Dave.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. Possibly. Aaron Butcher's a busy boy though. Racing here this afternoon, straight down to Brum tomorrow to mechanic for Freddie. Busy old chap.
Better to be busy than not be busy.
I'd like to know where Joe Thompson's put his Lion Cups or Lions Kevlars. Likes those Plymouth ones, doesn't he?
Maybe more comfortable.
Maybe.
Very nice of Luke Killeen to gift his brother last year's Oxford Cheetahs race suit.
Is that what he's got on?
We've got an Oxford Cheetahs suit on. It might be this year's, who knows?
Looks like this year's, because both the Killeen boys were stood together just now.
A little bit different here at Oxford for the National League. They don't have to walk halfway around the track.
So they met the old fellas walk around the track, but the youngsters can cut across the green.
Well, you know what these youngsters are like. They don't like to do much work, do they?
Hang on, you get more flyers than anybody I've ever known.
Yeah, I work for them though.
Or you hope that old Mr. Harrison's racing somewhere abroad and Andy goes with him.
Yes. Yes.
That sounds about right. Well,
So,
Joe will have definitely got some wear out of these Kevies by the end of the season.
Maybe they're his special ones. They're the ones that he does good in.
Maybe. It's good to see Luke Killeen up. He had a really scary crash here the other night.
It was. Good to see them. Good to see Luke back up on his feet. I can't remember who was he crashed with now. Was it?
James Pearson. And then he went straight across Cameron Heaps.
That's the one. You see, when you watch as many meetings as someone like myself, you forget these things happen.
The more I look at the Oxford suit, the more it looks like they've just said, "Yeah, kid, use a highlighter and see what you can do."
Maybe they have.
Wherever you highlight, that'll be highlighter colour for the season. Go.
And this
Killeen
is
being interviewed. We can't hear what he's saying because we have to mute.
Something tells me he might be saying something in Australian.
Joe wins a toss.
Well, you have to say win something in his life, doesn't he?
I do like Joe. He's a quiet fella, but he's a nice fella. There's Hutty,
He's
yeah,
quiet.
there's Hutty with the checkered
There he
jacket
is in
on.
his checkered shirt.
Is that Paul Hurry?
He also mechanics for Scott Nichols. So they're just going down the lineups for the meeting on parade. Joe giving the camera a little wave. How very nice of him.
Someone needs to tell Hutty it's not quite warm enough for shorts. There's Luke Crang, that whippersnapper that was supposed to be guesting for Oxford the other night, and none of the Oxford fans had a Scooby-Doo who he was.
Poor Mr. Crang.
I've seen Aaron Butcher most weeks this season, and I think this is the first time this season I've seen him in Kevies. He's a very busy fella around the Brummies pits with Freddie, and he was working with Piotr until Piotr decided he couldn't be asked to turn up for the rest of the season.
Inside scoop here at Shoot Some Shale, powered by D&D Media.
And Declan Killeen was initially only here for a short visit for a few weeks to see Luke and family, so the Oxford promotion must have offered him a decent deal to keep him on until the end of the season.
I would be very surprised, in fairness, if Declan's not part of the Oxford plans for the future.
Possibly all the Oxford boys just lining up across the track next to each other to do their starts.
Why not?
It was like the Red Arrows pulling up. It'll be usual roles for us again this afternoon as well. Me doing the lineups and results, you doing the commentary, because you know a little bit more about the National League than I do.
Well, I like to think I know a little bit about it. Riders go around in ovals up and down the country.
And today it's the turn at Sandy Lane.
I'm intrigued to see this Oxford team. Obviously, these are at Scunthorpe on Friday. It's the second part of a double header.
That's true.
So
yeah.
I knew there was a reason I'd bought this.
Leicester have won the toss and taken 1 and 3 in Heat 1. That was thanks to Mr. Speedway Updates.
Shout out to Mr. Speedway Updates. What a boy! If you identify as a boy, of course, it's 2024.
Yeah, could be a microwave. Who knows? Who cares?
Exactly.
Oh, let's do this bloody scorecard. And this Leicester team in the National League is really stand out, considering it's only the National League. There's some experience in that team.
Oh, 100%. But they're like the pool of the National League. They just seem to get it right.
Yeah. And Leicester obviously in the Premiership playoffs as well this year for the first time in Christ knows how long.
I did see, and I want to say 55 years.
Ooh, that's a while.
Just a little bit, innit?
Just a tad. And obviously the thing with Leicester and with Oxford having National League teams, they're looking towards the future.
Yeah, and, you know, people say British Speedway haven't got a future, but you just have to...
you have to plan for it anyway, don't you?
You just have to look at Oxford, you know, how they've brought Ashton Bowden up, Luke Killeen. You know, it's... British Speedway have got a future. It's just them two clubs seem to be the clubs that are looking after the youth.
Yeah, not enough clubs do it, do they? I know Scunny are obviously doing the National League as well this year, but not enough clubs are looking towards the riders of tomorrow.
No, 100%. Just a very, very quick one. As normal, if you are watching us, there's 3 people watching apparently. If you are watching, do drop us a message in the chat. We don't bite unless you have cake. And judging by the guy on the screen, he's had some cake for breakfast this morning.
Are we just a bit jealous?
Just a wee bit.
Track looks nice.
Shout,
It shouldn't get dusty.
keyword being shouldn't.
Yeah.
Shout out to Vinny and Ash who are watching us live. I hope you two aren't doing anything we wouldn't do on a bank holiday Sunday.
Whoever the fella in blue is, Paul Stark's called. He wants his Kevlar's helmet and bike covers back.
He had a very good night last night. Paul Stark. I believe he got about 7 for Paul.
But like we were saying earlier, Paul just get riders to race well. Just happens, doesn't it?
They just get it right.
So the lineup for heat number 1, going off the inside gate in yellow for the Lion Cubs is Sonny Springer. Jacob Cloughton goes off gate 2 in blue. Joe Thompson goes off gate 3 in white, and Luke Killeen off the outside in red. This should be a banger between the two on the outside.
In hindsight, it should be.
Hindsight's after. In theory, I think the word you're looking for is.
What you said, yeah.
Hindsight is after the occasion. So
My-
we'll
my
look back in a
sincerest-
minute when, I don't know, Jacob Cloughton's won and say, well, in hindsight, they should have won. Yeah, I mean, crowd looks alright considering it's National League.
For National League, these do get decent crowds here at Oxford, from what I've been told. Start Marshall walks away then for heat number 1 of this National Development League Clash. The tapes rise. It's a fairly even start, but it is Joe Thompson and Luke Killeen as we expected to hit the front, and it's Thompson that has the front lead now with Luke Killeen in second. Jacob Cloughton holding off the challenge from Sonny Springer in third, and Luke Killeen's nearly lost it. Oh, absolute carnage between the 2 Oxford boys there, almost taking each other off. That's just allowed Joe Thompson to extend his lead, and to be fair, Joe Thompson should be pretty unbeatable in this league as it is. Sonny Springer has retired at the back. So Joe Thompson, on continuing his excellent season this season, has been scoring really high in the Championship as well as the National League, as he comes round bends 3 and 4 to take the last lap flag. And as much as Luke Killeen will try and put Joe under pressure, it's going to take either a mechanical failure or a little slide off for Luke to catch him. And to be fair to Joe there, he's just ridden 4 perfect laps.
Luke Killeen needs to be apologising to his teammate there. I think he nearly screwed his entire race up by locking up. That was an interesting little race, that.
This is what the National League is all about.
So the result of Heat 1, it was a win for the rider in white, Joe Thompson, second in red, Luke Killeen, and third in blue, Jacob Cloughton. Sonny Springer lasted about a lap and got bored.
Joe Thompson winning a race in the National League. Shall we call up Davina McCall and fucking get her on surprise, surprise? I do apologise about my language. It just slipped up. It won't happen again.
Oh, God.
Oh,
I reckon Luke
It's a-
Killeen had a little bit of deja vu here because I thought he was going to end up in the bend 4 fence again for the second time in a week.
it wouldn't have been the first time, would it?
He nearly murdered Joe there and then nearly get cleaned out by Cloughton.
But thankfully, all 4 boys finished the race in one piece.
All eyes will be on this man in blue at the minute for this one. The other Killeen.
Yeah, not the one that tries to murder his teammates. Maybe he murders his brother. Who knows?
Oh, God. So the lineup for heat number 2. going off the inside gate in red, Senna Summers, that does have a striking resemblance to Selena Liebman. I can see that. Gate 2 in white, Max James. Gate 3 in blue, Declan Killeen, and off the outside in yellow, Aaron Butcher. Can't unsee
Now
it
you've
now.
said, now you've said that, I can't actually unsee it.
Can't unsee it.
Oh, Jesus. So, start Marshall then, just bringing the boys into line for heat number 2. The tape's rising, away we go. It's a very good start there for the rider in white, Max James, who currently has the lead, followed by Declan Killeen, who looking to come up the inside of Max James, and it's not quite worked out just yet with the rider Aaron Butcher there in third. Declan Killeen going ever so wide there now, and that's allowed Aaron Butcher to get up into the second position. So the Lion Cubs currently on a 5-1. B-Tech Selena Liebman nowhere to be seen, unfortunately. Aaron Butcher there getting himself into a little spot of bother there, but Max James, just like Joe Thompson in heat number 1, is just riding an absolute perfect ride here. Although the big battle is for second. Declan Killeen certainly not giving up the ghost on Aaron Butcher here, and I believe we might have one more lap after this. Yes, we do. So one more lap for Declan Killeen to try and score a couple more than a point, and it looks like it could just happen if all goes to plan, but it's not, because Aaron Butcher's bike hasn't packed up. He just made a little boo-boo, and that's the 5-1 to the Lion Cubs.
Declan Killeen looked a lot faster than 1 point there.
He did?
He just a little bit of a mistake. He looked a bit nervous at the start as well. He looked down rather than to the side, which some riders do, but then changed his mind and looked to the side, so not ideal. The results
Riders,
of heat,
innit?
Yeah, they're riders. The results of heat 2 was a win for the rider in white, Max James, second in yellow, Aaron Butcher, and third in blue, the debutant Declan Killeen. Makes it 1-5 and 4 points to 8. The progressive scores after 2. Dan Winchester has just messaged, who's watching, B-Tech Selena Liebman.
I'm texting my pal that now.
You can't unsee it once you've seen it, can you? And in theory, the rider who you would expect to win this race did win this race. Max James obviously getting his championship laps with Edinburgh this year as well, and that's really helped him. He's been here a few times.
Yeah, he very much like Joe in heat 1, and just made the perfect start, and that was it.
Yeah, and Connor Coles is in this one off the outside, in Chris Holder's old Kevlars, as you pointed out the other day.
I'll take it, because I forgot I pointed it out.
And it's clear to see from these first 2 races why Leicester are in the position they're in.
I mean, they're the only team in the league that's got 5-point riders at reserve.
Yeah.
For yourself, it's your first taste of National League. What are your thoughts on it?
I've watched it before, but not since it changed. It's been years. It's been so far so good. I mean, you can tell that these are slightly younger riders, and you know, some of them are learning more than others, but there is extra time being allowed, I think, because there's a rider replacement in Heat 4 in yellow.
That there is. Don't know who it is, but there is.
2 minutes sent on yet, but all the riders are sat there looking at the pits.
But it either is until the clock stopped working. It's one or the other.
I reckon it'll probably be maybe Aaron Butcher will be out for 2 on a spin. Who can take the RRs? Is it the same as the proper league?
I'm not sure.
One above and any below, or is it just below?
I'm not sure.
It could, yeah.
That looks like Max James.
That is Max James.
That's Max James. That's his mechanic Jack Coleman in the background, who we also call Jacqueline for Bants. Max
And because we're boring, we decided to fill a programme into this. And the 2 minutes is now on. And Leicester going strong early on. But when you've got a rider like Max James at reserve who can take the rides.
To be fair to Leicester, though, there's no weak links in that team, is there,
No,
at all?
absolutely not. He's got very catching bike covers, any old Max James.
He has.
Could he be a rider that's going to be the next breakthrough onto the Premiership Rising Star list? I know he's on there, a lot of these riders are, but realistically never get chosen yet. Could he be one of the ones, along with Max Perry's, Sam Hagan obviously at Leicester now, but, you know, to be looked at?
Potentially.
So the lineup for Heat 3 going off the inside gate in white is Tom Spencer, who had a nice spill here the other day, guesting for the Ouija's. Gate 2 in blue is Ashton Vale, that looks like Phil Mitchell. Gate 3 in yellow, Max James. And off the outside in red, Connor Coles.
So it is.
Phil Mitchell does Speedway.
This is fun. So the tape said rise for heat number 3. It's a fairly even start, but it is the Lion Cubs that get away in front. But the rider in blue, Ashton Vale, just bombs directly around white and underneath yellow, Tom Spencer and Max James. So it's currently a 3-3 with the rider in...
What on earth was Max James doing there?
I don't even think Max James knows himself, but in the space of about 5 seconds, it's gone from a 3-3 to an Oxford 5-1 with the rider in blue, Ashton Vale, or Phil Mitchell, as he also likes to be called now, leading with Connor Coles fending off the challenge of both the Lion Cubs, Max James in third, Tom Spencer towards the rear of the field. And we go into the final lap then, and this would level the scores on the night if things stay as it is. But Max James is having one last go on Connor Coles at the moment, looking like he's probably got it. It's closer. Max James
done it! What a ride! I think that justifies him trying to put Tom Spencer through the home straight fence on the first lap.
Oh, definitely. What a ride from Max James.
I don't understand what he was doing though. But brilliant ride there. He's just apologising to Spencer. He just caught a little bit of grip. He has gone over to apologise. I think they've shook hands on it. The ends justify the means, I suppose. The result of Heat 3, it was a win for the rider in yellow on the line, Max James. Second in red, Connor Coles. Ashton Vale went from first to third in about 20 metres. And third in blue, Ashton Vale. Tom Spencer at the back. Brilliant last turn.
100%. He just got the line right and he knew he'd done it. Fair play to him.
You have to feel for Spencer there though. I think they just went for different lines and Max James just caught a little bit more speed than I think even he was expecting.
100%. Work going on Luke Colleen's bike. On Luke Colleen's other bike, Declan's just calling the clutch down.
Sam Ermolenko, where you at? And we've got track grading.
I believe Sam Ermolenko's still in Germany telling people how Vaclav Milik have helped the Birmingham Brummies.
Helped him what? Spend money on uselessness. That's what he was. Absolute waste of time. Clown.
Connor Coles riding for the Oxford Chargers in the Cheetahs race jacket this afternoon. British Speedway in it.
And the two Edinburgh Monarchs reserves against each other in that one.
Yes, that they are.
This fella's a busy bloke and he's still not won a title in any league yet, has he?
No. And
he's got 3 different teams this year. He ain't going to win sod all with any of them.
I think the only chance he's got now, realistically, is the Cheetahs in the Championship. And
I think there are teams in that league that look stronger than Oxford.
And let's be honest, other than Scotty and Sam, they're not the best.
No. Don't you say that. Rob Paisley might hear.
Oh, how could I say such thing? I'll have to mention it in the group chat.
Sonny Springer and Luke Krang having a good natter. It's what you do when you're at the Speedway, or if you're Joe Thompson, you play Speedway Challenge on your phone.
Maybe it helps him with his riding style.
He looks so focused. That's what everyone goes to Speedway for. Play a game or have a chinwag.
Yeah, why not?
They're trying to zoom in on what Joe's doing. He's watching the racing.
He's watching the stream back.
Sensible.
He should have just listened to our watch along. You know, it's basically the same thing.
And
just
you've got your famous quote that you like to tell me. Obviously, you can't say it on here, but don't be something.
Don't be a naughty word. I'm not getting told off twice for saying naughty words.
Hey, I never heard the first one, to be honest, so you're safe.
Oh, what a man.
It does boggle the mind as to why the Lion Cubs have just got the standard Premiership Lions Kevlars, though. I don't get it.
Saves on design cost, doesn't it?
Yeah, but what, half of these ain't going to make it into the Lions Premiership team.
Put some respect on Luke Krang's name. He might make it into the Championship one day.
That young up-and-coming whippersnapper.
Yeah, that's the one that none of the Oxford people know about.
Yeah. The Killeen boys having a chinwag.
Well, it makes sense. Apparently they are biological brothers.
No.
Apparently.
I refuse to believe.
They almost look like brothers as well. Luke's got the Fat Controller as his mechanic today.
And
having a nice off-start Marshland.
And Declan's out in Heat 4. He'll be hoping for a little bit of a better ride, I think it's fair to say. He got himself in a good position early on, just made a mistake or two, and that put him back a bit. Interesting position for Senna Summers now, who didn't start the season the best. He has come on a little bit better recently, but will the pressure of being in that lead reserve position, even in the National League, maybe get to him? I think he's not quite as established as the opposition reserves.
Is it Senna Summers? Is it Selena Liebman? Who knows? You can't unsee it. I've just took a little snapshot on my phone. You can't unsee it.
No. Who needs a chalk machine when you can just whack some in a cup?
Exactly.
Luke Krang and Aaron Butcher both coming out ready. Against...
Oxford fans will now know who Luke Krang is.
Yeah, 'cause he's about to ride against him. We've still got 2 viewers. Go us.
Good afternoon to all 2 people watching. Evening, Vin and Ash, also watching from Essex. From Joey Essex land, obviously.
No tacticals in this league either, is there?
I don't believe there is.
Which makes sense.
Obviously, usual reserve switches can happen and often do.
Line up for heat number 5, is this, or 4?
Declan Killeen looks like a young Jack Smith.
He does, I can't unsee that now. / Jason Garrity. I can see a bit of Jason Garrity there as well. So the line-up going off the inside gate in yellow is Aaron Butcher, gate 2 in blue Declan Killeen, gate 3 in white Luke Krang, and off the outside in red Jody Scott. 11 points to Leicester, 7 to the Chargers after 3. Unusual having a track grade after 3 heats.
Every track does it a little bit. Well, a large majority of tracks do it after 4.
Including
Certain
Oxford.
tracks do it Certain tracks do it after 7, certain tracks do it after 2, certain tracks do it after 3.
Scunny don't do it at all.
Sometimes, if we're really lucky, we have one after 7.
Ho. Or sometimes you don't have one and you're done by 8:30.
Sometimes. The tapes is risen and away we go. I don't know what on earth the rider with blue Ashton Vale was doing there.
And that
But
Declan
it's a
Killeen.
very good... Oh yeah, it is, isn't it? Sorry. I'm looking at the wrong race. But as we go into... As we go... As we go into the second lap, it is Luke Cragg that has the lead, and the Oxford riders, Oxford supporters, sorry, that didn't know who he was. They're going to know exactly who he is now. He's been pushed all the way by Jody Scott there in his second position. Now Scott looking to come up the inside there of Luke Cragg. Luke Cragg's lost the chain guard. Looking at that, and Luke Cragg just wheeling down the back straight as you do. Aaron Butcher there in the third, holding off Declan Killeen as we go into the final lap then of heat number 4, and Luke Cragg going wide, and Scott trying to use the inside run. Declan Killeen's given up at the rear of the field, but it's going to be a win for Luke Cragg.
Only the best commentary on these watch-alongs, eh?
Tell me that would have been Lee Kilby would have done entertaining commentary on that.
Crikey. Aaron Butcher looked really uncertain about what he was doing, but it somehow worked out. Declan Killeen tried to put himself off the back of it, off the line, and then Christ knows where he was going on the first turn. I think he's just trying a bit too hard.
He's trying to impress, isn't he?
The result of Heat 4 was a win for the rider in white, who nobody knows who he is, Luke Cragg. Second in red, Jody Scott, and third in yellow, Aaron Butcher. Oxford fans will know him now, but I was really surprised to not see Declan on his back off this start.
Just picked up a bit too much grip, and yeah, he's going to be asking his brother for a spare set of undies, I think, after that one.
He's just getting used to it, which you'd expect. It's a difficult meeting to come into for your first one as well.
And Oxford now 28 points in this meeting off being crowned National League champions.
Oh yeah, they only need the aggregate point, they do old Leicester.
That's all they need, but unless things change for Oxford, they're going to get more than just the 1 point that they need.
And on paper, you'd expect this Leicester team to be champions in this league.
Oh, 100%. 100%. They're like Paul, as we say. They just get it right.
Yeah.
But
still waiting for... No.
All 4 are excluded, looking at the graphic on there.
Wrong race, someone put 50 pence in the meter. Connor Coles, that's who we were waiting for.
That's the one.
So the lineup of heat number 5, going off the inside gate in red, Connor Coles. Gate 2 in yellow, Sonny Springer. Gate 3 in blue is Ashton Vale, and off the outside in white, Joe Thompson. You'd think this is a race between in and outside, but Ashton Vale looked impressive until the last lap of his first ride.
Yeah, he did. And yeah, obviously Connor Coles did really well for Oxford the other night, and well, Joe Thompson's nigh on unbeatable in this league, so it's going to be interesting to see how heat number 5 fares out. So start march walks away, the tapes rise, and it's a very good start there for Connor Coles off the inside gate there. Joe Thompson coming around the outside now with the guy in blue, which is Ashton Vale, and Sonny Springer up the inside of Ashton Vale as well. So it's currently a 3-all with Joe Thompson now looking to come around the outside of Connor Coles. Connor just holding a right line on the inside to avoid Joe passing him, but it looks more so that Joe's going to do him just like that. Joe's done him, and this really, so far, isn't Oxford's afternoon. So Joe Thompson having to work for a bit of a lead now in the National League. That's almost unheard of. With Connor Coles, he's still chasing Joe there in second, but the more this race goes on, you have to sort of think that it's quite settled now, and the Lion Cubs are going to take another 4-2 advantage. As Joe comes round, bends 3 and 4 for the final time, and he takes his 87 millionth win in the National League this year.
Has that first race upset Ashton Vale's confidence? Because he was absolutely nowhere in that. It's got to be difficult to go from first to third and nearly last in Heat 3 and then come out in Heat 5 and turn it around.
Oh, 100%. It can't be good for the young lad.
The result of Heat 5 was a win for the rider in white, Joe Thompson, second in red, Connor Coles, and third in yellow, Sonny Springer. That makes it 11 points to 19 on the night and 52.66 on aggregate.
Lee Kirby giving us a wave on commentary.
Does he think it's the middle of winter or something?
And it is Oxford, it probably is the middle of winter down there.
They still don't have electric, do they?
No. Why do you think they're running at 3 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon?
This was a great pass from Joe. Took a lap to just work him out and then came round him at the end of the second.
Well, it's about time Joe had to work for a win, innit?
Connor maybe went ever so slightly defensive.
So, Oxford are still needing a heat winner in this meeting. Will they get one now with Luke clean out?
That looks like Max James in yellow. Is this the race he's supposed to be in? Yeah.
It's Heat
Next
6
one's
is meant
the
to be in.
RR,
Yeah, I'm not sure, as I say, what the RR rules are for the National League.
I'd assume the reserves can take up to 7 rides, same as the other leagues.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure of that.
The lineup for Heat 6, going off the inside gate in white, Luke Krang, gate 2 in red, Luke Killeen, gate 3 in yellow, Max James, and off the outside in blue, Jacob Cloughton. On paper, this is Luke Killeen's race to lose.
Yeah, 100%. But as we've seen, Max James has been very, very impressive here today, and Oxford fans also now know who Luke Krang is.
Luke Krang's got very funky bike covers.
Aren't he just?
Looks like that warning safety tape stuff that you get. Keep clear.
So just awaiting Jacob Cloughton to make his way to the tapes.
You wouldn't miss him in a dark alley, would you? You would not miss Jacob Cloughton in the dark street.
So the tapes rise there for heat number 6, and Luke Collina has made the gate of his absolute life. Better than what he made at Pole, and he's the rider that has the lead, then followed by Max James in second, with the guy in blue there, Jacob Cloughton, looking to come round the outside of Luke Krang. Has he done it? Not quite, as Krang holds the inside run there, but Cloughton round the outside now, and he's just about done Luke Krang, but Luke Krang back up the inside now. It's a great race at the back, but Cloughton back around the outside now into third, and he's looking to go on to Max James now in second. Luke Clean, he can buy himself an hot dog, and he's practically got this one in the bag, barring any form of mechanical failure or a little slide on his bum. But as we go into the third and fourth turns for, I believe we've got 1 lap to go. Yes, we have. And this race now is pretty settled. Luke Krang's given up towards the rear of the field. Luke Colleen is going to secure the first heat win for the Oxford Chargers, and as long as Jacob Cloughton stays on, which he has, that is the first heat advantage to the Chargers. The comeback is on.
Luke Krang was an interesting one there. The lines clearly moved out, and everybody else knew that. Yet he was trying to drag it round the inside where there's nothing. And just a few days after being put on his bum, he's up and winning races again. Then we've got another track grade. The result of Heat 6, it was a win for the rider in red Luke Killeen, second in yellow Max James, third in blue Jacob Cloutin, and just tootling around at the back Luke Krang. Do we reckon
That
this
it
is
is.
this is just about time in a minute for us to have 5 minutes while they do a bit of work?
I think we should have a quick 5, yeah.
We'll have a quick couple of minutes.
So we needed them 5 minutes. We hope you needed them 5 minutes as well to do whatever you was doing with your lives before we become a part of your Sunday afternoon.
They seem to be becoming
Uh,
more popular, don't they? The belt drives just came to
yeah,
mind when we saw that one on the screen.
maybe they're cheaper than a proper chain. Who knows?
Mm.
But big news obviously coming from Edinburgh yesterday. Justin Sedgman won't ride again this season. Very unfortunate circumstances for the Monarchs.
And he was looking good in that meeting on Friday. You obviously watched it, being Scunny's away meeting. He was looking quite impressive until he went and smashed himself up again.
And his crash, to be fair, on Friday at Edinburgh, it wasn't what you'd necessarily consider a big one.
It was an awkward
Um,
one.
but the awkward ones tend to be the ones that hurt the most.
That's very true. Trying to see who the RR is in full in this one. There's
Peter Schrock smiling.
Jody Scott and Senna Summers having a chin wag.
I hope Peter Schrock isn't that happy on Friday.
That means that Oxford are doing well.
Yeah.
And nobody wants that, do they?
No, not even Rob Peasley.
Don't even mention Oxford being bad to him. Christ on a bike, we're already at the end of it. Just waiting to see who the RR is. It's a very catchy jumper.
Maxwell the dog, do you want to go out for rah-rah for Leicester? You fancy it? You like running around, don't you?
They can all ride on the track, he can run on the dog track and see who gets there first.
Get him on the track with a bike, boost his confidence a bit. He'll probably beat him anyway.
You're shocking, you are. RR in
That
yellow, that looks like Luke Crang. Yeah. And that's the higher average rider that can take it, I think. That's the highest average rider who can take it, yeah. Now Sonny Springer and the two reserves are the only others that can take the RR. So the full lineup of heat number 7, going off the inside gate in red, Jody Scott, gate 2 in white, Tom Spencer, gate 3 in blue is Senna Summers, and the rider replacement in yellow off the outside is Luke Crang. Anyone that's spending their Sunday afternoon watching us talking about this really needs to sort themselves out.
Right, what are you doing with your life? Anyway, update. The tapes has risen on heat number 7, and it's as we're going down the back straight, it is the lead has gone to Tom Spencer, who's been pushed all the way by Jody Scott. The rider in third place is Senna Summers, and that was a very good move there from Jody Scott to come underneath Luke Crang there, and the Oxford comeback seems to be on with Luke Crang towards the rear of the field. That is Tom Spencer in second, not Luke Crang. I do apologise. It is a Sunday. So to go into the next lap now, then the real battle now looks to be towards the back with Luke Crang pushing Senna Summers all the way there, and Crang looking to come up the inside there of Summers, and Summers just holds the right line there to block that challenge from Luke Crang, but Luke's got one lap left to go, and the B-Tech Selena Liebman goes ever so wide there. That was quite the gap between the inside of the track, but Jody Scott's got this one in the bag just like that. Tom Spencer second, and Senna Summers third.
With all due respect to Luke Crang, he's really crap.
He's gone a bit rubbish after his first ride.
He should not be losing to many riders in this league, to be fair.
No.
Jody,
Nice to see the BTEC Selena Liebman in the points.
Jody Scott's a rider who's got a bright future. He looks quite well set up for such a young rider. The result of Heat 7 was a win for the rider in red, Jody Scott, second in white, Tom Spencer, and third in blue, Senna Summers, to take us to 19 to Oxford, 23 for Leicester after 7, or 60-70 on the old aggregate.
And a shout out. I've been asked to give a shout out to Vincent's German friend Owen, who does some work on the bike. Hi, Owen. But yeah, going back to what we were saying earlier about Oxford looking after their youngsters, Jody Scott's another one of them, as well as obviously Ashton Bowden and Luke Galleen. You know, and I'm half expecting Jody Scott to be in Oxford's championship team next year, should they run.
Potentially, yeah. He has put himself up a few guest bookings, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him be the rider at number 7. Now he's back fighting fit. I wouldn't be surprised to see him close out the season with Roynan probably not coming back for the rest of the season.
Probably.
The lineup for Heat 8 going off the inside gate in blue. Declan Killeen may be trying just a touch too hard at the moment. Gate 2 in yellow, Aaron Butcher. Gate 3 in reddish, Jacob Cloutin. And off the outside in white, Sonny Springer. Aaron Butcher's the highest scoring rider in this race, but you'd argue he's maybe not quite looked as comfortable as he'd like. I think if Declan Killeen can have a steady ride where he just gets his head down and clears off, he'll be fine. He's looked relatively quick. He just looks really tentative, and obviously when you're trying to impress as well, you maybe just take a little bit of pressure off and just race your bike.
So
he's done it again.
For heat number 8, and as we go down the back straight, then it is the rider in red now that has the lead, which is Jacob Cloutin. The rider in white there looks like he's come to a bit of a stop.
The red's on. I thought the reds was on then.
So did I. But no, the Oxford comeback looks like it's well and truly on, as Jacob Cloutin has the lead. Aaron Butcher there in the second position. Declan Killeen still there in third. I mean, to be fair, if Sonny Springer's packed up, which he certainly has, then if Declan Killeen doesn't get third, there's something wrong. We've got one lap left to go, and Jacob Cloutin is that far out in front. He can stop off for some chips, and he's still got this race in the bag. So as we come round bends 3 and 4 for the final time, Jacob Cloutin wins, Yellow second, Declan in third.
And we were saying just before the start of this, there's no real weak links in this Leicester team, and 1 or 2 have started to show in this meeting.
That there has.
Should have slept better last night. Heat 8.
Tired like, sir.
Just a little. It was a win for the rider in red, Jacob Cloutin, second in yellow, Aaron Butcher, and third in blue, Declan Killeen. Leicester with a couple more holes than SpongeBob at the moment, by the looks of it.
Leicester potentially now riding under a bit of pressure.
Possibly. You put possibly. And they've had it pretty much all their own way for the first half of the meeting, haven't they? And then suddenly Oxford have come back.
Maybe the pressure's getting to the Lion Cubs. Pressure's getting to them, and the wheels are falling off.
Like a Formula 1 car with no nuts in.
That's the one.
We've got a big whole one viewer now.
Hole 1.
Just the one.
Good evening, afternoon, morning, whatever time of day it is that you're watching this, or one viewer.
Oh God, here he comes again for his third last place of the meeting. There is a real togetherness in this Leicester pitch, though.
Oh, there is 100%. There's no individual barriers, is there?
No.
And this obviously is...
Luke Krang's bike could not give a toss.
Now it does.
There we go. It's working there. It's always
There
a
we
start.
go.
The lineup for heat number 9, going off the inside gate in blue, is Ashton Vale. Gate 2 in white, Luke Krang. Started really well, but has been piss poor in his last two. Gate 3 in red is Connor Coles. And off the outside in yellow, Max James. On paper, Max James is favourite for this.
You'd expect so.
Especially on the form he's on today, dropping just the 1 point so far from 3 rides.
And Connor Coles has been very consistent with 2 second places at the moment. So, Start Marshall then walks away for heat number 9. I think the rider in blue there nibbled a little bit at the start, but it is Ashton Vale that has the lead, but the red lights are out.
Yeah. You called it. I didn't see it. I was watching Luke Krang and he absolutely snoozed that. He wants to be a bit... I think that motor made the jump look a bit more obvious. Nah, he's rolling.
No.
I think he nails the start. I don't think he clutches it, but I think he's rolling a little bit before the tapes go. And Luke Krang missed it that much.
I will just say though, if anybody that supports Connor Coles is watching, 7.5 out of 10 for the wheelie.
I think that was a bit of a combination of the rider off the inside maybe anticipating it a little bit and Luke Krang completely missing it. When the tapes go, he is stationary. That's just a good start.
The more I see that, the more that it's just a perfect start.
Leicester have got away with one there, I think. Luke Krang missing it that much made it look worse than it was.
Oh, 100%.
Max James will be thankful for the second shot at that.
That he will. But poor Phil Mitchell has got to do that all over again.
Don't tell Grant.
So, the tapes rise again for heat number 9. It's a very good start again for the rider in blue there, Ashton Vale, with Connor Coles now coming up the inside, and the Chargers now on a 5-1, and Max James nearly decides to put himself in the fence. So the Chargers currently on a 5-1, and this will take them into the lead for the first time here this afternoon. Luke Krang, to the surprise of literally nobody, towards the rear of the field. Connor Coles has the lead, as you would probably expect, to be fair, been a regular championship rider. Now Max James looking to come up the inside there of Ashton Vale, and Vale just holds the right line, but now James looking to come up the inside, and he's done him perfectly. Now, what can Ashton Vale do? Could he come up the inside there of Max James, or will Max James just hold the right line again? We've got 1 lap left to go. But Connor Coles, he can go get himself a bag of chips on the way home, and he's already won this race, to be fair. He's a mile ahead. Max James now settled in second. Gutting for Phil Mitchell, or Ashton Vale, as he also likes to be called.
Luke Krang
is crap.
Proper crap. My God. There was no love lost between the Edinburgh reserves in the first and second turn there. Connor Coles trying to put Max James somewhere near Swindon.
Well, it's a day out for the lad, isn't it?
Let's look at the bright side. Heat number 9, it was a win for the rider in red, Connor Coles. Second in yellow, Max James. Third in blue, Ashton Vale. And Luke Krangmaus will pack his van and piss off home. He's useless.
We're talking to people that could do with a day out a bit. Luke Crangs wishing he'd went for one instead of turning up to Oxford.
Really, really good in his first ride, and the wheels have literally fell off.
Just falling apart.
Oh, that was harsh by Connor Coles. Hard but fair, I think the term is.
There's that, and obviously everyone keeps going around saying rubbing is racing. And
as
Max
Rory
James is a rider.
As Rory likes to say, it was just a little love tap.
But, you know, Max James is a rider that can give that sort of stuff, so he's got to learn to take it.
Yeah, I mean, he seemed to settle down and just crack on with it there. And got his second place. I think that probably fired him up more than anything. I don't quite know what it'll take for the Leicester number 5 to fire up, but they need to say something to him to get him going.
Maybe they'll just say, win 8-13 and we'll give you 20 quid to get a burger on the way home.
Oh, that sounds like a bargain to me.
That'd fire me up, to be fair.
Get burger, chips and a can of Coke for that. And still have a little bit of change.
Beer.
Yeah. Maybe not beer. Max James maybe as the RR, because it's not on yet. It can only realistically be Sonny Springer or one of the reserves, and Sonny Springer's not been fantastic. When you've got Max James
or out
like
for a
this,
while.
Oh yeah, you'd expect it'll probably be Max James. It's Aaron Butcher.
That it is. Big Darren Miles in the background.
Could this potentially be Aaron Butcher's last ride? Although he can't take it in 14. You'd expect Max James will be in there. So the full lineup of heat number 10, going off the inside gate in blue, Jacob Cloutin. Gate 2 in yellow, the rider replacement, Aaron Butcher. Gate 3 in red is Luke Killeen, and off the outside in white, Tom Spencer. And you'd expect another heat advantage for Oxford here, to be honest.
In theory, yeah.
But as we all know,
I mean Jacob Cloutin looked very impressive in heat number 8.
Yeah, and Luke Killeen maybe took one ride to settle back in again after that crash, but has looked good since. Tom Spencer gated well in his last one, but didn't quite have the speed.
So the start marshal then walks away for heat number 10, and away we go, and it is the Lion Cubs that get out there in front with the rider there in the white helmet colour. That is Tom Spencer that has the lead now. Luke Collins forced his way up into second position and is looking to come up the inside there. Don't even want a ride from Luke Collins there to get himself to the front. Now what can Jacob Cloutin do? Was very, very impressive in his last ride, and he's trailing towards the rear of the field in this one. He's putting pressure on Aaron Butcher, but at the moment it's coming to no avail as they go into lap number 3 of 4. The first two look pretty settled. The race is for third and fourth, to be fair, at the current point of time. Aaron Butcher is doing the right job, and Jacob Cloutin's just trying to hog the inside line. I say that he decides to go around the outside, so we've got one lap left to go. One lap left for Jacob Cloutin to try and do something for the Oxford Chargers. But as they come round turns 3 and 4 for the final time, barring some form of miracle, it isn't going to happen. And Luke Collins won that by a country mile.
That was all done from a brilliant start for Aaron Butcher, because he gave the Oxford boys a little bit of work to do, and Luke Killeen made short work of it. Jacob Cloutin just couldn't get on terms.
That was some ride though from Luke Collins, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the result of heat 10 was a win for the rider in red, Luke Killeen. Second in white, Tom Spencer, and third in yellow, Aaron Butcher. Jacob Cloutin ends what has been a really good meeting for him, with a bit of a dull note. What a gate from Aaron Butcher though.
Yeah, and gated fine, and to be fair, so did Tom Spencer. And it was at that point Luke Killeen realised he had work to do, and he made light work there of Aaron Butcher, and then just here over the fourth bend, perfect inside swoop on Tom Spencer, and that was it. He was away. He was off to Burger King.
Luke Killeen is a joy to watch around Oxford, isn't he?
He is. He's a bright spark at Oxford, isn't he?
Little bit
And
unorthodox, maybe, but a joy to watch.
but it's also good to see Oxford really looking after him as well.
Yeah.
Imagine living in one of them houses behind the fourth bend. You could just go up to the attic and watch the speedway for free.
Oh, that'd be lovely, wouldn't it?
Be nice, wouldn't it?
Imagine we could do watch-alongs all the time. Then we wouldn't need streams. It's been a while since we've seen this fella in
Exactly.
white.
It has. Heat number
11.
5 it was.
So he's had a 6-race break up until now. So it's a bit of a
We
wait.
probably had two. We had 2 track grades in that time.
Yeah. The lineup for Heat 11, going off the inside gate in white, is Joe Thompson, unbeaten from 2 so far. Gate 2 in red is Jodie Scott. Gate 3 in yellow, Sonny Springer. And off the outside in blue, Senna Summers. This should be a really good battle between the two on the inside, with all due respect to the other two.
Yeah, you'd expect so. But in the National League, you just never quite know.
And if this was maybe a higher league, you'd have probably expected the reserve to come in yellow here, but obviously it's not. I don't
The
know.
development league,
Yeah,
innit?
that's
It's
it.
about giving the boys some time.
What
And
a
the rider
gate!
in red there got away with a bit of a flyer there, if you ask me.
That
But
could be called back. That it has been. It's been
it
stopped.
is.
I think that was just a good start, though. I think that was just a good start. Maybe a little too good.
Paul Carrington certainly hitting the red button there, and
No, that's
probably
the last
rightfully so,
race.
to be fair.
Yeah, let's watch this again. He does move. He
Blatant
does,
roll of that.
yeah.
Someone might want to tell him it's the tapes and not a cigarette.
I reckon Joe Thompson would have enjoyed the challenge of having to overtake him, though.
Well, he could do with a challenge or two, couldn't he?
Same lineup, same riders, same gates. We go again.
Beat at Ben Trigger and a beat at Selena Liebman. What's not to like?
Vegetables.
There is that. So away we go again for heat number 11, and Joe Thompson forcing Jodie Scott out there wide to a point that even Sonny Springer's managed to join him in second for what could be a Lion Cubs 5-1 as they go into the second lap now. What could Jodie Scott do? Jodie Scott's hunting down Sonny Springer. Can Sonny Springer do anything? Joe Thompson could really do with looking after Sonny Springer here, in all fairness. But Joe looking like he's just going to go off and ride his own race. The rider at the back of time, this race looks pretty settled now, as we're most definitely going to continue, barring any form of mechanical failure or a slide on his bum or tyre go bang. And it is 87,489th National League win this afternoon.
What a brilliant ride from Sonny Springer.
He did really well, didn't he, to hold off Jodie Scott.
2 retirements, a 3rd place, and then pops out and gets a paid win in his last one. What a ride. And he never really came under any pressure from Jodie Scott either.
Jodie Scott's not very happy there.
No, don't look overly impressed, does he? Looks like they're going to take an interval. The paramedics are going for a stroll. The result of Heat 11 was a win for the rider in white, Joe Thompson. 2nd in yellow, Sonny Springer. And 3rd in red, Jodie Scott. That makes the progressive scores 31-35 and the aggregate is 72-82. So that means Leicester are just 8 points away from getting the point they need for the crown.
Yeah. For a little £2.50 Asda's trophy that they get.
That was a really smart first and second turn from Joe, and he put Jody Scott wide enough for Sonny Springer, who cut back smartly to just come straight underneath him.
Oh, 100%. It was a quality ride that, and fair play to him. And yeah, Leicester are barring loads of 5-0s now for the Chargers. Leicester are there for me.
Yeah, I think he took that little bit of a fight back from the Chargers to wake them up, and it has. And then we've got some
Oh,
track grading and
100%.
watering. Do you want to quickly
What we're
run through
saying,
the
and if there
individual?
were the other. Oh, go on then. So for Oxford Chargers, Luke Colleen 8, Jacob Ploughton 5 and 1, Connor Cole 7, Ashton Vale 2+1, Jody Scott 6, Senna Summers 1, and Declan Colleen on 2 for Leicester Lion Cubs. Joe Thompson 9, Sonny Springer 3 and 1, Tom Spencer 4, Luke Crang 3, Max James 10, Aaron Butcher 6 and 2.
That's where the difference has come.
And,
The reserves 3
oh,
points for Oxford and paid 18 for Leicester's reserves.
but yeah, I think we're both probably going to agree. Max James, rider of the meeting so far.
Possibly, I'd maybe be inclined to. You know what to expect from Max James. He's doing championship as well. Aaron Butcher for me with paid 8 from 5. I think he's had now. That's making a difference, and maybe a rider you perhaps wouldn't expect to be scoring
Hmm.
that highly.
Big Oxford team talk happening at the moment.
Did Peter Schrock just tell the cameraman to bog off?
You know it's very serious when Peter Schrock puts his glasses on his eyes rather than the top of his head.
Oh, sneezed. Oh, oh God.
Now, don't know about you, Squire, if they're capable of having 5 minutes. Shall we have 5 minutes?
Yeah, we'll have a quick break.
So, we've just had a lovely 5-minute discussion. We hope you've had lovely 5-minute discussions wherever you're watching in the world. The current score is the Oxford Chargers 31 points to the Leicester Lion Cubs 35. We're just gearing up and getting ready for heat number 12 of 15.
Oh, God.
Dog, have you trumped?
Would you be surprised if Leicester put Max James in 13 for Luke Rang?
No.
I think this race will depend a lot on what they opt to do, but I think that's a pretty easy call.
I could see it, Max having 3 on the trot.
Yeah, 14 as the RR as well, possibly. Or maybe Sonny Springer will take that now because he can take one. I don't think he's had one yet. Line up 4 heat 12, going off the inside gate in yellow, Max James. Gate 2 in red, Connor Coles. Gate 3 in white, Tom Spencer. And off the outside in blue, Declan Killeen.
So it is.
And a couple of shared races here and there. You know, any heat advantage to Leicester, you know, puts their one hand and 2 fingers on the trophy.
The palm can just about touch the bottom of it.
The palm tree?
He'd love to win a National League. He'd won the other 2 leagues. He may as well try and win a National League.
What a boy.
Has he won both leagues? Yeah, he has. I was doubting my own knowledge then for a minute. So, heat number 12, start Marshall walks away. White moved a little bit, but then he stopped himself and then he made an absolute belter of a gate. And Max James is on his bottom.
That was bunching, that.
Declan Killeen, don't know if he stayed. Oh, Declan Killeen stayed on the bike, but he had a coming together with the air fence.
2 Edinburgh reserves cleaning each other out there.
Do you get the feeling them 2 don't like each other?
I don't know. That was bunching. I would disagree that White moved, though. I don't think he did. Be interested to see it again. I think he just nailed it.
It was weird. He sort of he moved about half an inch, and then he stopped.
That bike,
and then he just made a perfect gate.
Yeah, possibly. It'd be interesting to see it back. That ball could just go straight around the back and into skip.
Perfect for spares and repairs, that.
And Mr. Hutty helping the Leicester boys get that back. What a guy.
About time Jack actually did some work.
Luke Cran carrying the front wheel, Hutty and Jack carrying the back.
Rhymes. I'm so immature, I do apologise.
It's the simplest minds. Luke Cran looks like he's about to deck that. Go on, get it down. You don't see that at any other track, the track team helping out. Hutty's one of these fellas that just likes to help out. Opposition, home team, whoever it is. Max is up and alright.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but doesn't Hutty actually work at the stadium full time?
I think so. That was just a perfect start from Tom. Connor Coles does lock up. He could be in danger there. No one was near him. Red could go for that. He does definitely lock up.
That gives me vibes of Scott Nichols at ironically at Oxford in the pairs.
He definitely locks up. He could go for that. And if he doesn't, he's very lucky. But I don't think Tom moves here. Let's watch it again.
The Grave Dodgers miss, you can wait till after.
He had a little nibble, then he stopped, but when they actually went, he was completely still. For me, Connor Coles locks up twice, he just straightens up. Connor Coles should go for that, in my opinion. And then he tried to put Declan Killeen in for good measure.
And this is what the National League's all about. Oh, I've had a missed call.
Would it be Nana
Oh, it's
June
on.
by any chance?
How did you guess?
Because she literally just said she's trying to call you and she can wait.
Oh, my apologies.
If Connor Coles has got
Um,
away with that, he's very fortunate. For me, he caused that.
Obviously, we can't actually tell you what the official decision is until we get right to the tapes because we have to watch on mute because copyright. And this is a perfect time to say because we're near the end of the meeting. If you do want to watch the meeting, go and buy it from Oxford TV for a tenner.
The apparently according to updates, it's all four back. Connor Coles has got away with one there. He should have gone for that,
He is
in my
quite
opinion.
lucky, isn't he?
Yeah, he definitely locked up and then he straightened up as well. So he's definitely got away with one.
Very, very lucky. Luke Young looks a little bit tired out after carrying that bike.
He looks a little bit fed up. He looks really impressive in his first ride and he's done nothing since. Now, obviously, me and you both toy around with saying, oh, we want to be a ref one day. What would you have done there? I'd have put Coles out for that. I thought it initially, but then especially after the replay.
It's one I'd have had to have watched the replay a couple of times, but I'm with you on that one. I'd have probably have excluded Connor.
Nothing intentional, but he does lock up and cause the stoppage.
It's one of them, though, isn't it? It's one of them things. It does happen. But yeah, if it's the primary cause of stoppage. And while we've got another way, we've got another race from the Scunthorpe Sheffield visit the other week. Aren't we lucky chappies?
Extremely.
And if Nathan Ablett doesn't win this race, there is something seriously, seriously wrong.
Here he comes, about to be overtaken, or cleaned out. Overtaken's the one, straight round him like a knock-knife through butter, not a problem.
I don't know what to say.
We've had this discussion a few times since his injury, haven't we?
Yeah, he's not been the rider that he was. And to be fair, in the championship as well, sort of Luke's now becoming the senior reserve at the tender age of 17.
Having just passed his driving test the other day, which I know you're extremely envious of.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me.
No problem. I ain't as bad as Alan. Alan was brutal the day you found your theory, weren't he? It's criminal that he's got a driving licence, though.
Do you know what the worst bit is?
What?
You still won't drive to any of the meetings he's riding in.
That's the worst thing. His team is 10 minutes up the road and he just doesn't go. And then you've got you that would travel all around the country to watch your team.
And red car.
And red car.
But yeah. One's a Speedway fan, the other is
Alan. Still waiting for Max James. Will be allowed time to sort himself and his bike out.
Connor Coles' mechanic looks like a bit of a fatter version of Alan. And I didn't think that was quite possible.
Anyone that watches Formula 1, Lando Norris won the Dutch Grand Prix ahead of Max Verstappen, which makes me really happy.
That's now me getting endless messages from a good pal Charlotte, who's got a bit of a lady crush on Mr. Lando. Oh, we're just waiting about.
Bloody hell, AEW have added a 16-man tag match to their pre-show. Christ on a bike.
That is a lot of people.
It is, isn't it? I can't tell which is the baby face and which is the heel team, if I'm being entirely honest. And they're pushing off. We should have a watch along to a wrestling show.
Bash in Berlin, let's do it.
Oh God, imagine. Just waiting for Max James to come back out. Same riders, all four back. Maybe luckily in some riders' cases. Max James is back on his bike. I don't know why he's got the yellow helmet colour on now. The helmet itself's yellow.
Just for professionalism.
I don't know. I hate the helmet colours. Just have an actual coloured helmet. Costs a bit more, but looks so much better.
But then you've got to buy 4.
Yeah.
Maybe these sort of guys probably can't afford it.
Yeah, but higher leagues,
Higher leagues, I agree.
Same for riders. Let's see how it goes this time. And Leicester were on a 5-1 initially there. So are we ready for the Oxford 5-1?
No, because it's gonna be a 3-3, and if it isn't, forget that I said that.
Oh, the evidence is here now, though. Pass.
We'll get our guy to cut that little bit out.
Our guy being me? No. I refuse.
So, start Marshall then walks away for heat number 12. It's a very good start there for the rider in yellow, Tom Spencer, with Connor Cole sitting there now in the second position with Max James in third, but Connor Cole's looking to come up the outside there of Tom Spencer, and it's not quite worked with Declan Colleen now trying to put Max James under some pressure, but Connor Cole's looking to come around the outside now of Tom Spencer. Has it worked out? Not just yet, as Max James looks to come up the inside there now, and it's cardage.
Oh, they're all off. Everyone's dead. Connor Coles is going for that. That was an awkward one.
Declan Colleen still on his bike.
He's the real winner of that situation. There definitely was a little bit of a look from Max James as he was coming down that back straight towards Connor Coles.
That was personal.
I don't think he caused that though. I think Connor Coles was just ahead and he's clipped the back of Tom. I'd be interested to see if Tom's locked up or not, but on initial looks, Connor could be in trouble here.
It's one of them, innit?
We'll have to see it back, but obviously they won't replay it until we know that everyone's alright. Connor Coles is up.
Hell.
What?
June Palmer. Dan, where are you? I could use your help on the computer.
Just tell her to sell it.
My lovely, adoring grandmother that I pretend to love with my entire heart. I'm live on YouTube, so I can't help you out. Soz, not really soz.
Even though you had to yesterday.
Yes.
It'll be interesting to see if anybody goes for this. Well, someone will have to go. It just depends. Max James is up again. Tom Spencer's copped the worst of that. I think he might have been collected by Max James after he was on the ground. Hutty bringing the number 3 back off Spencer's Kevlars. What a fella.
What a guy.
Or maybe it's off the back of the Oxford race suit. That was shaping up to be a really good race.
It was, wasn't it?
Tom's up. He's been in the wars a little bit lately, and he crashed here earlier in the week, guesting for Glasgow, destroyed a bike. Now let's watch it again. That angle that we had was a little bit. We've got the same one again. Let's see what happens. It's the next lap, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is the angle we need. Nope, swaps again. That was personal. That look there. Tom's lifted. Connor's come across the front of Jack. Connor's gone. Connor's got to go for that.
Yeah.
Connor's just fell off and collected Tom at the same time.
That is quite an easy decision, that.
There's nothing to look at, is there? Tom was in the lead and Connor's just fell off. He's run out of room. For me, Connor's got to go there.
Is that my dad as a paramedic? They look so alike.
Looks like our mate Mr. Fanpower. 2
Oh,
minutes.
don't mention there's been a crash at Oxford to him. He'll be all on Oxford.
I think that's a very easy decision. Let's check updates and see if we found out. Cole's excluded. Correct decision. Absolutely no other decision to be made.
100%.
He was lucky to
And
be
for
in the
me,
rerun initially.
and I'm only saying this because my tea's ready. That should be awarded.
Let's see. This
I mean,
angle's crap. But Connor's trying to come across in front of James and just runs out of room. I don't know what he was doing there. I know you've obviously got a race, but he's cleaned out 2 other riders. Max James actually lies it down to avoid Spencer. But that's the correct decision, and he should have been excluded in the first run-in, and he was rightly disqualified in this one. It wasn't intentional, because he's a nice fellow, his old Connor.
he is got a lot of time for him, but
He was definitely at fault there.
and both times the race has been stopped, the Lion Cubs have been on a 5-1. So
Yeah,
this is the time now for Declan Killeen to make himself a hero.
and
Not that he will.
hopefully all the riders are fit to take their place in the rerun, or the rest of the meeting, depending on what they decide to do with this. I think it'll be rerun because they're only on the second lap. I think it'll have to be rerun.
I know the one of the rider in front won't have completed the second lap either, would he?
That was they were coming on to the third lap. So yeah, they wouldn't have
I don't know.
completed it. Nah, this will be rerun. They were
No.
only 2.5 laps through.
And I say, as long as the rider in front had completed two laps, then you can award it.
I mean, with all due respect to Declan Killeen, I can't see this being anything other than a 5-1 to Leicester if it is rerun, to be honest. It's just a case of whether Tom and Max James are fit to take their place, or whether Aaron Butcher gets another ride. Well, Declan Killeen's bike's coming back out, so it is going to be rerun. And obviously the ref will have to allow time. We're looking back at another bloody race from this.
Pay £10 for the stream. Okay, we'll chuck the Scunny meeting in there as well for good measure. Oh, who's texting me now?
Nana June, I've broke it. It's dead. Should we have a quick 5 minutes while we wait for the rerun?
Yeah, why not? We're back.
We're back. We're alive.
We're back.
We're not dead.
Hello.
It's being rerun. They heard that you were waiting for your dinner and thought, sod him.
Paul Carrington, if you're watching this, I hate you.
Good to see both the Leicester boys up and okay. Obviously, Connor Coles has been disqualified. And it'll be rerun with 3 riders only. This is where you said just now Declan Killian can make himself a hero.
He's either going to be a hero or he can't even get 0 unless he comes off or has a retirement. So at least he's going to get a point.
You've said it now. It's going to break down at the tapes because you forgot to turn his fuel on or something.
Oh, you know it's going to happen.
And it's all Dan Palmer's fault.
Yeah, I take absolutely 0 responsibility. I'm just a drunk that likes to watch bikes go around in circles.
Are you going to an AA meeting?
Do they give you booze?
They give you alcoholics.
Anyway, possibly. So anyway, heat number 12 goes. And Tom Spencer's made an absolute blinded start. Max James is there in second. Declan Killian is there in third. Yeah. I can't see it going any other way, to be fair. And this race, if it stays as it is, I mean, Declan Killian's trying to kill himself. But this will almost give the Lion Cubs the title. This will almost secure it for them. But yeah, there's not a lot going on in this race, to be honest. Declan Killian's still trying to kill himself, and there's no real point. He's still got the potential to get a point at this point of time. Don't fall off now, for crying out loud.
He had some speed, to be fair.
And he got a point. That's a 5-1 to Leicester. 3 for him, 2 for him, 1 for him.
They need 3 points on the old aggregate to hit 90, and then they are mathematically certain of a point. But they're 8 points up in the meeting as well, so I'd say it's pretty much done and dusted. That was a really bad attempt of a wheelie by Max James. But Tom Spencer's
that was a very good one from Tom Spencer. I'll give him a solid 8 out of 10.
The result of heat number 12 was a win for the rider in white, Tom Spencer, second in yellow Max James, and third in blue Declan Killian. He had a lot of speed then, just track craft, I think.
And this is a race where Joe Thompson wins Leicester the title.
That was carnage. Declan Killian did very well to stay on after whacking Max James's bike.
Didn't he just?
And Luke Krang is out. He's not on the same bike he has been though. His other bike had yellow and red stripes on, didn't it?
I believe it did. Unless he's borrowing somebody else's bike.
Possibly. This is the race that's all wrapped up, I think.
It's hard to see past it. Joe Thompson's out and he's on a max.
The only
if his
thing
bike will get going.
The only thing the Oxford riders' pride now can allow is for them to try and stop Joe Thompson taking a maximum from here.
Yeah.
Looks like Joe's changed bike.
Probably has.
Unbeaten from 3, sod it, we'll swap.
We'll swap with the bikes, why not?
Make it a bit harder on ourselves. The full lineup for Heat 13, going off the inside gate in red is Luke Killian. Gate 2 in white, Joe Thompson. Gate 3 in blue, Jody Scott. And off the outside in yellow, Luke Krang. See how Jody Scott bounces back. He was not happy being 5-1 last time out.
That he wasn't.
It'd be quite fitting if Joe Thompson was in a race that clinched 3 points on aggregate that they need to take the title, wouldn't it?
Mm. Ironic, isn't it? A rider that was sacked by Leicester earlier in the year wins Leicester a different title.
I think it was mutual decision, weren't it? Well, that was the story that was told, and Joe has benefited from. He looked like he was lacking confidence in the top league, and he's absolutely been flying in the Championship and the National League.
Oh, yeah, I think he moves up now in the Plymouth team. So, tapes rising on heat number 13. Away we go. It's a very good start there for Luke Colleen, actually. That takes the lead, and Jody Scott looking to come up the inside. So the Oxford Chargers on a 5-1. Leicester can't have that title just yet unless Joe Thompson does something about it. As Joe looking to come round the outside now. He's got round the outside of Jody Scott. Now, what can he do without Luke Colleen? Looks to come underneath the inside there of Luke Colleen. Joe lifts it up. Could have been carnage there. Very well controlled there from Joe Thompson. So it is still Luke Colleen that has the lead then. Jody Scott in third, pushing Joe Thompson every step of the way. Luke Crang, like he has been all afternoon through there, is nowhere to be seen. Like a little child playing hide and seek, nowhere to be. Oh, there he is. About half a mile at the back. 1 lap left to go. Joe Thompson really likes lifting and going wide. It's not going to help him, and Leicester are not quite going to clinch. Well, they are going to clinch the National League title, let's be honest, but they're not going to clinch it in this race, as Joe Thompson is defeated for the first time this afternoon.
That was a pre-planned move, weren't it, for Killian to send Joe wide and Jody Scott to cut back up the inside. Luke Killian celebrating like he's just won the title. He's only ended somebody's max. Come on now, let's be real.
That is a good wheeler, though. I'll give him credit where it's due.
Nah, never made it all the way down the straight. Interesting to hear Dan Bewley's interview after Cardiff when he said he was going to try and wheelie around the entire track without dropping it.
He did?
He got most of it, and then he ended up dropping it, didn't he?
I think he dropped it about half a metre from when he started.
Heat 13, it was a win for the rider in red, Luke Killeen. Second in white, Joe Thompson. And third in blue, Jody Scott. 4-2 to the Chargers. Makes it 36-42 on the night. And Leicester just need a finisher in the next race to wrap up the title. That was definitely a plan. Jody Scott already cutting back there. Luke hanging Joe out high, wide and handsome.
Oh yeah, they knew what they was doing.
Commitment from Joe there, straight round the outside of Scott. And then, as you said in the race, brilliant bike control to avoid wiping out Killian there.
That's what the experience of the championship does to you, to be fair.
Yeah. And Luke, you've said it there, Luke Crang's been really... You'd be expecting him to get a fair few points in this league. You know, he's not new to Speedway. And he's half a straight behind. It's embarrassing, isn't it?
Luke Cram could give James Jessup a good race and he'd still lose.
I'm embarrassed for him. Heat 14
so,
in yellow is Aaron Butcher, as we all knew. I'd imagine Sonny Springer will be the rider replacement in white, especially after Max James's crashes. Any sort of finisher in this race and Leicester will be crowned champions. And it is Max James in white.
The only thing denying Leicester from a title now is 2-5-0 to Oxford.
And the odds of that are astronomical.
I certainly wouldn't be putting a mortgage on it.
The line-up for Heat 14 going off the inside gate in white, the rider replacement, Max James. Gate 2 in blue, Senna Summers. Gate 3 in yellow, Aaron Butcher. And off the outside in red, Ashton Vale. Something quite ironic here. The Leicester reserves have been fantastic today, and the Leicester reserve pairing could be the two that get the point needed, or should be the two that get the point needed.
There should be, and no, it would kind of be fitting for Max to get it, with him being the youngest rider in the team. At just 16, 17, I believe it is. There's a takes rise there. Away we go. What a start from Max James. He knows what he's doing. And to be fair, Aaron Butcher, the clubs are going to get this title in style. Although to be fair, Ashton Vale's just gone round the outside there of Aaron Butcher. Senna Summers, a bit like Luke Crank, nowhere really to be seen. Max James, he's going to be the rider out front. He's going to be the one that wins the title for Leicester. And fair play to him. You know, he's rode really well all afternoon, so I can't, you can't fault the geezer for effort as we're going to the, I believe it's the third lap of heat number 14. This won't just win Leicester the title, this will win them the meeting on the night as well. We've got one lap left to go. And Ashton Vale doesn't look like challenging Max James, to be honest, being realistic. So, as they come round then, the final two turners of this race, and Leicester are National Development League champions once again.
And it is really fitting that it's the reserves that wrap it up.
Oh, 100%. Massive fair play to Max James. He's been a really, really impressive rider today. And he has been all season. Fair play to him, and congratulations to the Cubs on winning the National League title.
And it'll feel even sweeter to win the meeting as well.
Oh, 100%, especially after the National League final last year, where the Chargers beat the Lion Cubs only by 2 points, if I remember right.
So the result of Heat 14, the one that clenches the title, it was a win for the rider in white, Max James. Second in red, Ashton Vale, and third in yellow, Aaron Butcher. And Max is going to get the bumps. I wouldn't be surprised to see Max James in 15 as well. Put him in with Joe. Give him a potential to get a 5-1, just to add a little bit of insult to injury. How far forward was Ashton? Was it Ashton Vale in red there?
Yeah.
How far forward was that fella?
Quite.
Good move to get back round the outside of Aaron Butcher after he'd maybe shocked him in the first and second turn. Aaron looked quick.
He did, but it's one of them. I'll tell you what, though, I'll give Ashton Vale a lot of respect. I was at a meeting with him in 2022, and he, in the van, he was, he looked like a BTEC, me around the stomach area. Let's just say. It's a fair play to him for shedding a bit of timber.
And now,
and the sun's coming out at Oxford.
Peter Shrug finding out who the Oxford boys want to go out. Obviously, there's nothing really to race for. There's no one on a maximum anymore.
There's nothing to race for. I'd give it to Senna Summers and Declan Colleen because the meeting's lost, and them two need a bit of extra track time. And if Leicester had anything to go by, they'd put out Sonny Springer and Luke Frank just to make it a fair race.
So according to Speedway updates and the texter, Handsome, you must need glasses or something. To the texter, Max James touched Connor Coles in Heat 12. This fella needs his eyes testing. There's nowhere near him.
Maybe that guy hasn't got the luxury of having a replay like we have.
Yeah, but even in real time, it didn't look like he touched him. He was nowhere near him.
No, that's fair.
He must have been watching with his eyes shut.
They're saying that guy's just won a league title, though. He doesn't look very happy.
Aaron Butcher's refuelling. Is Aaron Butcher going to come out for this one? And Joe maybe take the race off? They're definitely refuelling that bike.
Yes, they are.
But I suppose that's one of the advantages of being a mechanic as well. Aaron Butcher, obviously mechanics for one of the best riders in the world, so who better to sort his bike out and mechanic it than him?
Well, that's it.
Tom Spencer's loading the van up, or Connor Coles is loading his van up and having a chinwag with Tom Spencer.
Well, it's not going to be either of them, is it?
No, probably not. Tom Spencer's been solid enough though, especially considering he was on his bum around here the other day. I think Luke Killeen is in red. Ooh, look at them scrubbies.
7
Luke
points.
Killeen.
He's done his job.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Luke Killeen is in red. Blue, that looks like Jodie
Jodie
Scott.
Scott.
Now we find out who's going in what for Leicester. Be fitting
I
if it
would
was
not
Max James and Aaron Butcher, to be honest.
be surprised if it was.
It'd be quite fitting, I think. Aaron Butcher's still working on his bike. There's not
And this
really a
team
lot
manager
going on. You don't look very happy saying it's just win the league title,
is
does he?
it's just won the league title. Oh, okay. That's nice.
Well, I think I can tell you it won't be Luke Krang.
Denying the people of what they want.
Connor
So his friends
Coles.
are about to shake a bottle of Lucasade up because he's not old enough to have champagne.
Aaron Butcher's in yellow. I think he's earned this as well. Him and Max James have been fantastic tonight. I don't think it's Joe. He's having a chinwag with old Connor Coles and Tom Spencer.
Fair play to the guy. So the last race about to come up. Hopefully we'll be finished and my tea will still be a little bit warm.
I think that's Max James in white, just in the background. Looks like a bright yellow helmet with a white helmet colour on it.
I mean, we'll soon find out.
I think it was Max James.
And we've got the other 3 right. 3 out of 4 ain't bad, as Meatloaf once said.
That's number 6, yeah, Max James is in white. Fair play, he's gave the 2 reserves who have been absolutely fantastic this afternoon, and Oxford are off 1 and 3. So going off the inside gate in red for Oxford in heat 15, Luke Killeen. Gate 2 for the newly crowned champions in white, Max James. Gate 3 in blue is Jodie Scott, and off the outside in yellow, Aaron Butcher. On paper, let's be honest, you'd favour Oxford. I don't even think it matters if Leicester get 5-1 here. I think these 2 have thoroughly deserved their opportunity to be in this race.
Oh, they have, 100%.
And Max James is capable of beating anyone. Paid 16 points from his 6 rides and paid 9 for Aaron Butcher as well.
Max James is the highest scorer of the Leicester Cubs, to the surprise of nobody, because he's had more rides.
You're always going to be a champion when you can have a rider of that calibre at reserve who's, championship experience, and he's been solid enough in the championship as well.
It's one of them, innit, when you've got 2 reserves that have got more than 5-point averages,
Yeah.
you're gonna do some damage. So 8:15 then, the start match walks away, the tapes rise, the sun comes out as well. It's a great start off the inside there from Luke Killeen, and coming up the inside there in blue is Jodie Scott, and to be honest, it doesn't really matter. The meeting's lost, the title's lost, so Oxford are just riding for a bit of pride now and to get a 5-1 to make the score as close as possible. Aaron Butcher, to be fair, is at the back, but he's had a very, very solid enough afternoon. Max James trying to challenge on Jodie Scott, but it's not quite working out for him at the moment. Luke Colleen's just out there. He can go and get himself a bag of chips. And Jodie Scott there as well in second. Obviously, these 2 ride together quite a bit for Oxford, and I'm expecting both of these to be in the Oxford Championship team next season. 1 lot left to go then of this meeting before we can go and have our tea and gain some sanity back for a Sunday. Luke Kelley's won this one quite easy. Jodie Scott second, Max James in third.
I don't quite understand Luke Killeen throwing his fist around celebrating the 5-1. It meant nothing to anybody. I don't
He
get
just
it.
wanted to win the race.
I don't understand it.
3 for him, 2 for him, 1 for him, and out for him. 6, 9, 12, 14, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 1. And Luke Collins doing a donut.
For what? I don't get it.
Funny, innit?
Is anyone going to tell him that they've lost the title? They've just lost at home as well. The result of Heat 15 was a win for the rider in red Luke Killeen, although you'd think he's just won the World Cup. Second in blue Jody Scott, and third in white Max James. Quickly run through the individual scorers in a moment.
I've got them jotted down if you want me to go through them.
If you want to do what? If you want to do Oxford, I'll do Leicester, and then we'll wrap it up so you can have your chicken dinner.
So, Oxford Chargers, Declan Colleen scored 3 points. Senna Summers scored 1. Jody Scott, 9 and 1 bonus. Ashton Vale, 4 and 1. Connor Cole, 7. Jacob Cloughton, 5 and 1. And Luke Colleen, 14.
For the Leicester Cubs, Joe Thompson 11, Sonny Springer 3 and 1, Tom Spencer scored 7. Rider replacement was at number 4, Luke Krang 3, Max James 16 and 1, and Aaron Butcher 7 plus 2. Adds up to 43-47.
That it does. Again, this one, we do apologise. It was quite a late planned watch along this. So apologies if we've spoilt your Sunday plans, but thanks for having your Sunday with us. We will be back on Thursday with Kings Lynn versus Sheffield, the return of Strawberry Jam on D&D Media. Who doesn't love that?
It might be you and Alan for that one, with me doing the analysis of Ipswich and Birmingham, but we'll see whether Alan's still in the dungeon or not.
Possibly. We'll see what happens, but the plan is to cover that meeting anyway. But I'm off for my tea, so I hope all of you have a lovely